Good morning, students. Welcome to online teaching session of Academic Word School, Bemitra. Dear student, I hope all of you are ready with your notebook and writing material. Today, this is my last lecture on this topic, matrices. This is my 5th lecture. I hope you are completing your assignment. Please complete it and send to me through ERP. So in this 5th lecture on matrices, what is it that we are going to learn today? So see the objective of today's class. Today we are going to learn one very important operation of matrices, that is known as elementary operations. Elementary operations are classified in 2 parts. One that is known as elementary row operations and other one is elementary column operations. Please understand, elementary row operations and elementary column operations. Please remember that here. Both are different. And once we have learned that, then we will proceed towards application of elementary operations. The areas where we can apply this concept, that is elementary operations. How to apply? So I'll explain in this particular section, application part, how to find out inverse of matrix. If a matrix is given, how to find out inverse. And my dear student, remember one thing. This particular aspect of finding inverse of a matrix using elementary operations is very, very important from CBSE's examination point of view. Why? Because very often a question of 6 marks is asked from only this particular aspect. In CBSE board examination, they can give you a question. Find out inverse of matrix using elementary transformation. And at times they can be very specific. They can say, find out inverse using elementary row operations or elementary column operations. Then you don't have choice. Whatever they say, you have to apply it. So be very careful. So what is it that we are going to do? We are going to learn these basic operations and then its application part in this session. Okay, so let's begin this part. So these elementary operations you can see over here classified in 2 parts. One, elementary row operations and then elementary column operations. So what it is that we call elementary row operations. So as its name says, row operations means operation which are applicable only on the row sides of a matrix. Similarly, elementary column operations. Column operation means which are applicable only on columns. And remember one more point. Whenever we are applying these operations, either you will be applying only row operations in a matrix or you will be applying only column operations. We cannot mix up. Please remember that here. We cannot mix up these 2 things. Either you will be applying only row operations or you will be applying column operations. Be very clear in this. So let's see that here. There are basically 3 row operations. Similarly, there are 3 column operations. So altogether there are 6 elementary operations. Out of 6, 3 are part of set of row operations and the remaining 3 are part of column operations. So what are the 3 in elementary row operations? The first one, it says that Ri can be interchanged with Rj. What is R? R stands for row. I stands for which row, ith row, jth row. Now it says that the very first operation, it says that ith row and jth row can be interchanged. By interchanging, no doubt, appearance of matrix will change. But remember that the system of linear equations will not change. That I will explain you separately. For example, if I want to apply this first row operations on this, what does it mean? So first I will be writing what it is that I want to change. So how to write? You will be saying, let's say R1 is interchanged with R2. Please see that ith row is interchanged with jth row. For example, first row I want to interchange with second row. So interchange means now after this, once you have written this, after this, in this matrix, what will be the change? In place of first row, you will be writing second row's element, and in place of second row's element, this first row's element will be written, and the new matrix will be called a new matrix which is obtained after applying this row transformation or row operations. So what will be the form of this? It will become A2, B2, C2, A1, B1, C1, A3, B3, C3. Please see that here. These two are interchanged. It was A1, B1, C1. Now this part has gone to R2. And this R2 has come to this R1. So this is what is written. R1 and R2 can be interchanged. So we have done that. This is what is called interchanging ith row with jth row. So they are interchanged. Come to the second one. What is second one? It says the second part says that ith row, elements of ith row can be replaced by k times the elements of ith row. What does it mean? Let's say there is a need to replace. I want a certain constant multiples of that number. So how to get that? So what we will do? We will multiply each element by that scalar and can replace that row. How? Suppose, so I am writing that here. Let's say the element of third row, I want to replace it by 5 times of R3. 5 times of R3. This 5, it is a scalar multiplication. So what will be your new matrix? It will become, after applying this operation, your new matrix will be A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, and here it will become 5 times A3, 5 times B3, 5 times C3. Please understand that here. What we have done? Elements of third row are now replaced by 5 times of that. This is what it says, that scalar multiplication of the elements of that particular row can be replaced. Now see the last one. This last one says we can add elements of ith row to jth row's element after multiplying by a constant. What does it mean? It means, let's say what we are doing, and this change is done in ith row. What we are going to do? Let's say we are making change in second row. And what is the change that we are making? We are making that change in R2. We are adding, suppose, 3 times of R1. What we are doing? We are making change in R2. What is the change? In elements of second row, 3 times elements of first row, 3 times of first row's element we are adding to this. So if you apply this, what will happen? Your new matrix will be, there is no change in R1, so you can write simply R1 as it is. So A1, B1, C1. There is a change in R2. What is the change? You are writing R2 plus 3R1. So what will be the element? A2 plus 3 times A1, B2 plus 3 times B1, and then this will be C2 plus 3 times C1. And then last row will remain as it is because we are not making any change in that. Please see that. This is your third operation. Now all these three operations we have applied on various rows of given matrix. We have applied this only on rows. That is how it is called as elementary row operations. In similar manner, all these operations can be applied on the columns also. As it says, what does it mean? Ith column can be interchanged with jth column. You can take any two column, you can just reshuffle that. That is how you can apply the second column operation or third column operation also. So I hope you have understood this part. Please remember that these elementary row operations or elementary column operations we have to apply separately. Please remember that we should not mix these two in any question. Let's move. So what we have done, we learned what it is that is called elementary row operations or what it is that is known as elementary column operations. Now the question comes, what is the use of it or how to apply in a different situation? So we are going to focus on the application part of that. And in application also, there is only one application which you need to focus. And what it is? It is how to find out inverse of a matrix. Inverse of a matrix using elementary operations. So this is what we are going to learn now. What we are going to do, we are going to learn application. Application of elementary operations. So as I said, elementary operation, there are two types, row operations and then column operation. So what we will do, we will take two different examples and then apply this. So first, we are going to find out inverse. Inverse of a matrix by elementary row operations, ERO, elementary row operations. Similarly, inverse of a matrix by elementary column operations, ECO. Please understand, elementary row operations, elementary column operations. This is what we are going to do. So, we are taking one example. The example is, let's say the matrix which is given, we are taking one matrix A as 2, 5, 1, 3. We are starting with a simpler one. We are taking 2 by 2 matrix, 2, 5, 1, 3. Please understand, we want to find out inverse of this matrix by using elementary row operations. We will take one more example, and over there we will be applying this elementary column operations. Now you need to understand how come it is different. There are two differences in this. One, the way we begin. When you have to apply row operations, elementary row operations, please understand, A is equal to I into A. I hope you understand. I is identity matrix of same order. So if you multiply by I to A, it will remain A. There won't be any change. And so A can be written as I into A. Why we are writing in this form? I will explain you. What we are going to do, we will be applying these elementary row operations on A in such a manner that in number of steps it gets converted into I. Please understand what we are going to do. We will apply the set of elementary row operations on A in such a manner that this given matrix, means this matrix, gets converted into I. And whatever we do over here, same thing we will be doing with I without touching this part. Let's say after applying, as it converts into I, at that minute, let's say it gets converted into B. And as we said, we are not touching to this one. It will remain as it is. Now, you learn invertible matrix. And over there you learn that if product of two matrices becomes identity matrix of same order, then one of them is called inverse of the other. This is the approach which we are going to follow. Once again, what are we going to do? We will apply this set of elementary row operations on A, and whatever we will be doing with A, same thing we will be doing with I. And what will be the direction? We will be moving to convert this into identity matrix. And at that minute, when it gets converted into I, whatever form this will take, that form will be nothing but inverse of A. Are you getting my point? Be very careful. Once I explain this, then I will come to how to write that part. So let's begin this one. So what to do? We have got this matrix. So I am writing this. This matrix is 2, 5, 1, 3 is equal to I 1, 0, 0, 1, and then write down A. This is your A, identity matrix of same order, and then A without touching, we are writing that A. Now, what we are supposed to do? First thing, we need to convert this matrix into identity matrix. So, identity matrix means what? 1, 0, 0, 1. This thing we have to bring. Means first element should be 1. So, can I say to you that just interchange these two? If I simply interchange these two rows, you will be getting first element as a 1 which is required. So, let's make that change. So, how to write down? You will be saying R1 is interchanged with R2. Please understand. R1 is interchanged with R2. So, what will happen to this? It will become 1, 3, this will become 2, 5. We have interchanged that. Whatever you have done to this one, same thing you are supposed to do for this matrix. So, let's do that. Over here, also it will be changed 0, 1, 1, 0, and don't touch this part A. Please understand what we have done. We have interchanged. Whatever we will be doing with left hand side, same thing we will do with this matrix. Now we came to know this 1. Now to convert into identity matrix, what is required? Can I say that in identity matrix, this is 1, it has to be 0. So how to make 0? So what we will do? 2 times of this row we will subtract from this. It will become 0. So let's see that. I am writing this again. So what the change we are making? We are making change in R2 row, second row we are making change. And what is that change we are making? R2 we are making change R2 minus 2 times of R1. 2 times of this we are subtracting. So in R2 we are making change. There is no change in R1. So write down that. So if we write this, first row will remain as it is 1, 3, and in this from second one we are subtracting 2 times of this. So subtract that. So it is 2 times of this. If you subtract, it will become 0. And here if you subtract 5 minus 6, it will become minus 1. I hope this part is clear to you. So whatever we have done to this, same thing we have to do over here. So there is no change in the first row. So we can write that it will remain 0, 1. And second one, what we are doing? We are subtracting, we are changing from R2 2 times of R1. 2 times of this we are subtracting this. So 1 minus 2 times of 0, it will remain as it is. 0 minus 2 times of this, it will become minus 2, and then write down A. Now compare. We got 1, we got 0. Now what is the next step? We have to make over here 0. And then we have to make over here 1, and then we are done with this. So let's do that. So what should we do? Can I say that if simply I add in R1 3 times of R2, it is done. So let's do that. So what we are doing, in R1 we are making one change. What is that change? R1 plus 3 times of R2 we are adding. So in R1, 3 times of R2 if you add, what will happen to this? Please look at this. So it will remain, in R1 we are adding 3 times, it will remain 1. And in this 3 times if you add, it will become 0. And then there is no change in here over here. See that there is no change in R2. So it will remain 0 minus 1. Make the change in that right side also. So the change is R1 plus 3 R2. R1 is, there is a change in R1. In R1 we are adding 3 times of this. So it will become 3. 3 times of this is added to this. So 6 minus 6 plus 1, it will give you minus 5, and this will remain 1 minus 2. This is what you got. Now only one step is left. Here it is minus 1. So what should I do so that minus is consumed? So what we will do? We will say that in this R2 we are making change, what? Minus 1 time of R2 we are writing. Which property, which operation we are applying? We are applying the second operations where you have multiplied by a constant. Apply this. So if you apply this, what will happen to this? This will become 1, 0, 0, 1. And then come to this part, it becomes minus time R2 you are doing. So 3 minus 5 minus 1 plus 2, and then A remains as it is. So in this case, what will happen? Please look at this. We started with this matrix in left hand side, applied these elementary row operations, got converted this into identity matrix. And what I said, the moment you are getting this identity matrix, at that minute, whatever shape this I takes, that becomes the inverse of this matrix. So you can say that A inverse is nothing but it is 3 minus 1 minus 5 and 2. This is inverse of this matrix. You can cross check. How to cross check? Just simply multiply these two, and in result if you are getting identity matrix, that means it is the inverse of that. This is the example of 2 cross 2 matrix. Now, if same thing if you have to apply using this elementary column operations, what will you do? As in the beginning I said, when I started this process, I said there are two things which you need to remember. First, you need to decide which elementary operations you are applying. It is a row or it is a column. If you are applying row operations as we did over here, what did we write? We said that when you are applying elementary row operations, A was given, you will be writing I times A, I into A. I is identity matrix, A is given matrix. For applying row operations, I has to be kept in the left side of A. Please remember that point. I has to be kept in left hand side of A. And when you have to multiply column operations, in that case, you will be keeping identity matrix in the right side of that. If you miss this point, you will not get the result. So please remember, this is the first point which you need to remember. In case if you are applying elementary row operations, this is the way you need to write A equal to I into A. And if you are applying column operations, you need to write A equal to A into I, and then you apply. So in this case, what will happen? Whatever operations you will apply on this A, same operations you will be applying on this I. This A will remain untouched. It should not get affected by your operations. So this is the way we have to proceed. Let's take up another question. We have taken just now this 2 by 2 matrix. Let's take up a higher order matrix, that is 3 by 3 matrix. We are taking one matrix, its order is 3 cross 3. So let's say A is given by, this is 2 0 minus 1, 2 0 minus 1, 5 1 0, 0 1 3. This is 3 cross 3 matrix. And question is, find out inverse of this matrix. What is the question? Question says, find out A inverse by using elementary row operations. By using elementary row operations. Please understand the question. These kind of questions, they come in 6 marks. So as order is increased, obviously number of steps will get increased, and that is how it becomes important to keep your destination, what it is that you want to achieve. So what I said, you have to find out inverse of this A. So first thing, as we have to apply elementary row operation, we need to write down A is equal to I into A, because we are applying elementary row operation. Therefore I has to be written in left of this A. If it was column, I would have written this I on the right side of that A. This is one thing. Second thing, as it says that elementary row operations, now you should forget completely about elementary column transformation, because at no space, at no point of time, we can apply column transformation. Remember that part. So let's begin this one. So first we need to write down this given matrix, which is given as 2 0 minus 1, then 5 1 0 0 1 3, and this can be written as I is, the procedure is same, 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, and then A will remain as it is. A is equal to I into A. I hope you have got this point. How to write? This is the step number 1. And after this, whatever operations you will be applying, you need to write that. you have to write that. First write what operations you want to apply, right? And then apply that. This is the way you have to, step by step, you have to proceed. Okay, fine, let's begin this here. So what we are going to do, as remember that what I said, what are we supposed to do? Always remember, this we have to convert into identity matrix. Identity matrix means what? It means I need to write in this form 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. What does it mean? It means I have to bring 1 over here. This says 1. I have to bring 1 over here. So first I need to bring 1. How can I bring? Very simply you can say divide by 2. What does it mean? I can say that I am making change in first row. What is the change I want to bring? R1 I am making change. I am dividing element of first row by 1 by 2. I am dividing by 2. Clear? All elements of this I am dividing by 2. So let's divide. So whatever I will do over here, same thing I have to do in this one also. So let's do that. It becomes 1. It will remain 0. It will become minus 1 by 2. And other 2 rows, I am not making any change. 5, 1, 0, 0, 1, 3. I am not making any change in that. What will happen to right hand side? Same thing, whatever you have applied here, same thing will be done. So it becomes half of that, means it will become half 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, and this A will remain unchanged. We have got 1. Always remember, where is my reference? This is my reference. After getting this 1, what is the next step? How to bring 0 over here? Look at this. How to bring 0 over here? So look at this. Can I say that? Now I need to bring, this is already given equal to 0. So there is no problem. Now how to bring 0 over here? This you have to bring 0. So how to bring 0? So to bring 0 over here, what I am supposed to, can I say that 5 times of this, if I subtract it from here, I will get 0? Okay, fine. So I am making 2 changes at the same time. Look at this very carefully. 1, in second row I am making 1 change. What is the change? From R2 I am subtracting 5 times R1. I hope this point is very clear to you. I am subtracting from here 5 times of this first row. From here if I subtract, I will get something. What will get? This will become 0. And this is already given 0, so no need to make any change in this one. So we are making only change in second row. Nowhere else we are making any change. So let's make that change. So if I make that change, what we are getting? R1 will remain as it is. 1, 0, minus half. What is the change in this? The change is in place of R2. R2 minus 5 times R1 we are writing. This minus 5 times. So 5 times minus this, it will become 0. Now from here if you take 5 times, 5 into 0, 0, subtract that, it will remain 1. From here 5 times of this we are subtracting. So when you are subtracting, this minus will become plus and it will become 5 by 2. Last row, there is no change. So write down as it is 0, 1, 3. What will happen to this? Whatever you have done, same thing you need to apply over here. So let's do that here. So as we said, no change in R1. Write down element of R1. 1 by 2, 0, 0. Now in second row there are changes. What is the change? 5 times you are subtracting. So if you subtract, it will become minus 5 by 2. From here you are subtracting, it will remain 1, it will remain 0, and the last one, no change in that as such. So we are getting this. You can write this 1 by 2. I hope this point is clear. And then don't forget, this A will remain as it is. There is no change in that. So we have got 1, 0, 0. Look at this. We have arranged this. First column we have arranged. Now we have to arrange the second one. Here also we are given 0. Here also already 1 is given. Only thing is you need to make 0 over here. Look at this. 1, 0, 0. 0, 1, 0. This we have arranged. This is already given. And this is also given. We need to make this one 0. That means here we have to make some changes. what is the change you will suggest? Can I say that if I subtract from R3 R2, our job is done? Let's do that. So subtract this. So what we are going to do now, we are making a change. The change is in R3. What is that change? In R3 we are subtracting R3 minus R2. This is the change we are bringing. So let's make that change. So from R3 we are, so there is no change in R1 and R2. 1, 0, minus half, and then 0, 1, 5 by 2, and then R3 there is a change. We are subtracting from R3 this R2. So if you subtract, this will become 0, this will become 0, this is 0, this is 0, and then you are subtracting from this one. So what you are doing? 3 minus 5 by 2. Please see that. So 2 3 is 6, 6 minus 5, 1 by 2. You are left with 1 by 2. Now what will happen to right hand side? Look at this. You have to make the same changes over here. So in first 2 rows there is no change. So write down that 1 by 2, 0, 0. Then minus 5 by 2, 1, 0. And in the last what we are making the change is R3 minus R2. From here we are subtracting this. So if I subtract this, it will become 5 by 2. 0 minus 1 means minus 1. And then 1 minus 0, it will become 1. And then your A part remains as it is. That will not change. Now, please be very careful. We have arranged this. Now what is left? We need to bring 1 over here. 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. We need to bring 1 over here. If I bring 1 over here and then make this 0 and this also 0, then our job is done. And at that point of time, whatever shape or form this will get, that will be inverse of the required matrix. So let's do that also. So what we are doing? So first multiply by this. So what we are doing? We are making change in R3. What is the change? We are multiplying by 2. Why we are multiplying by 2? So that it gets converted into 1. So do that. We are left with 1 0 minus 1 by 2, 0 1 5 by 2, and then we are multiplying by 2, so it will become 0 0 2. Same thing we have to do in this case also. So write down over here whatever comes. We are multiplying to this by 2. Others will remain as it is. 1 by 2, 0 0, minus 5 by 2, 0. Sorry, this is 1 0, and then we are multiplying by 2, so it becomes 5 minus 2, and then it becomes 2. Now look at this. We have got, no sorry, this is, it will become 1 because we are multiplying by 2, so it will become 1. Look at this. So we got 1 0 0 0 1 0, and over here we got 1. Now what we have to do? We have to make this one 0, and then we have to make this also 0. So how to do that? So only 2 steps are left. So just wait and then see what will be the next step. So after this, what we are going to do? Look at this. We are making change in R1. R1 we are making change. What is the change we are making? We are adding R1 plus half of R3. In R1 there is a change. In R1 we are adding half time 1 by 2 times of R3. And at the same time we are doing one more change. What is the change? In R2 also we are making one change. What is the change? In R2 we are subtracting 5 by 2 times of R3. We will multiply this by 5 by 2 and then subtract it. Fine? Okay. Let's wind up this. So we are doing this. Together we are applying on this. So what will happen? First change is in R1. So let's do that. Apply that change. R1 it says R1 plus half of R3. R1 plus half of R3. So if I add these two, half time of this to this, it will remain 1. Half time of this to this, it will remain 0. Half time of this, if we add, it will become 0. Fine. So the change in R1 we have made. And in R2 there is a change. What is the change? Minus 5 by 2 times of R3 is subtracted from here. So 5 by 2 time of this, no change in this one, no change in this one. But here what will happen? 5 by 2 minus 5 by 2, it will become 0. And then no change in R3, it will remain as it is 0, 0, 1. This got converted into, now you can see that it is 3 by 3 identity matrix. Let's see what happens to right side. In this case, this is the crucial part, what we have to arrange. So what we have done, first R1, in R1 there is a change. What is the change? Half time of R3 we are adding. First multiply by half and then add to this one. You are adding to this. So 5 by 2 plus half, it will become 6 by 2, it means it becomes 3. Please see that 5 by 2 plus half, 6 by 2, it will give you 3. Now we are multiplying by half, it will become minus 1. Add to this, it will become minus 1. Multiply by half, it will become 1. Add to this one, it will become 1. The change is over. This change we have made. Apply this change now. R2. So how will you apply? In R2 we are subtracting this. From R2 we are subtracting this. So what we are doing? From R2 we are subtracting 5 by 2 times of this. So what will be the element in this one? So we are saying that minus 5 by 2. And then 5 times of this will become 25 by 2. We are subtracting that. So 5, 25, it will become minus 30. Minus 30 by 2, it will become minus 15. So write down minus 15. R2 minus this one. We have done. Now, what about the second one? So if you multiply by this 5 by 2, you are multiplying by 5 by 2. This minus minus will get cancelled, 2 will get cancelled, only 5 is left. 5 minus 1, it will become 5 minus 1, it will be, just 1 minute, minus 2 by into 5 by 2, this will become plus, and it becomes 5, it will give you 6. And then multiply by this. 5 by 2 minus time, it becomes minus 5, you are adding to this minus 5. And then row 3, there is a no change as it is 5 minus 2, and then it becomes this one. So look at this very carefully. We are getting this. Now we are done with this. Look at this. What we said, we were given A equal to I into A. We applied row elementary operations on this and got converted into I. And same operations we applied on this. Let's say it gets converted into B and A is as it is. So B into A is equal to I. What does it mean? It means this has to be inverse of this one. So you can say that A inverse is equal to this one. Means this matrix is nothing but it is representing inverse of the given matrix. This is the way how can we proceed to find out inverse of a matrix. Last point, remember that here. In the same manner you can apply for column also. It may happen in some cases all elements of any specific row or column becomes 0. In such cases inverse will not exist. Again I am reminding you. It may happen in some cases that all elements of any specific row or column gets converted into 0. All elements are becoming 0 of any specific row or column. In that case, you need not to proceed further. Simply you will say that this given matrix doesn't have inverse, and then that gets over. So now today what we have learned? We have learned elementary operations. In elementary operations I explained you row elementary operations and column elementary operations, and then how to find out using these operations inverse of this matrix. Now assignment related with this is already uploaded here. Dear students, remember these assignments are part of your PT1 examinations. I hope all of you will take it seriously, do complete it and send to me through ERP. Thank you very much.